The God of your own understanding, the one that's in your head, the one that your family told you existed, your pastor told you about, the one that you think you realize, or the one you think you're reading about when you read your Bible, doesn't exist. Never has. And it never will. It never will exist. The God in your head is just made up. It's imaginary. It's a bunch of assumptions, prejudices, presuppositions, and none of it's true. Existence is, and you are a part of existence. You are approved of by life itself because you exist. You don't need anything else to prove that. You exist just like everything else. And you're a part of it just like everything else. And everything is happy that you're here, and everyone is thankful for your existence, even if they don't remember that. And God certainly knows you. God certainly is thankful for you, appreciates you, is glad you're here, and loves being you. I said that. He loves being you. That means God knows he's one with you. And he forgives everything that you think is sin in your life. He forgives you. He knows it's done out of ignorance. If you need proof for that, look at Jesus on the cross. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Every single person he was talking about was trained, informed, religiously, politically, socially. They all knew right and wrong, supposedly, but they did not know what they were doing. There's a difference between knowing and knowing. Anyways, I dare you to forget yourself, to forget your religion, to forget your family, to forget your books, and go where no man can protect you, where no doctrine can boundary for you and create perimeters for you so you're safe. No, none of that. The only thing that will keep you safe on the path of real truth is the truth itself, God. And the difference between here, this realm that we live in here, and the realms that I am pointing at is the ones where everybody knows God is the only thing that exists. And heaven, the heaven you all claim to want to go to, it's heaven. Most of you just have imaginary heavens in your mind. What heaven actually is when the soul goes from this strange reality that is full of dichotomies and paradoxes and twists and negatives and oppositions and all of that. It goes from a state of all of that, transcending all of that, and knowing its oneness with God. And it leaves this realm behind. It just leaves this realm behind. Hebrews, the book of Hebrews even says that those who were of this faith tradition were simply too good for the earth. It said the earth wasn't even worthy of them. And when the earth is no longer worthy of you, you will also pass on from this realm. And until that moment happens, you'll be here with me and everybody else that belongs here. As long as we are a part of the kingdom of self, as long as we are a part of the reality where we're still processing and working out this subterranean false identity called the ego, which was developed lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes before you even became this person that you are today. And most of you don't believe that, and that's fine. I don't care. It's not about believing, actually. It's just about reality. Whether that's true or not, whether heaven's coming or not, and any of that is true or not, you're right here, right now, and that's happening. How's it going? Be still and know that I am God. How many of us have done that today? I dare you to shut up. I dare you to quit thinking you know everything. I dare you to quit thinking that God belongs in the box that you were given or that you made yourself. God is, and that's all that is, period. The fact that you don't know that just tells me you don't know what God is. You think God's some sky daddy in the air that's going to judge you for your wrong behavior and reward you for your good. Nah. You think God is some judge, somebody that's just waiting to evaluate you? That's not it. Nope. You think God is a king in the sense that you understand. In fact, he's not. He only uses words that you understand to recontextualize them. So, like Son of God, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Ruler of the Universe, the Savior of Mankind, all these different titles. These are titles that men gave themselves or that other entities gave men to falsely represent that which was actually going on in the higher realms. You don't know who you are. That's why you don't know who God is. That's the problem. I dare all of you, whether you are a pastor, whether you were an evangelist, a scholar, whether you were whatever, it doesn't matter. Man, listen, if you were a Christian or any other religion and you have found yourself unfulfilled and thirsty still, you are thirsty still because you have never been taught the way to living waters and you've never been trained on how to drink the living water that God is offering all the time. You've never learned or remembered that which is God. You've actually been taught a bunch of stuff about God that's not true. And the people that told you didn't know him. So now you have this tattooed dude that struggles with addiction and mental health his whole life coming out on YouTube to talk about all of the different things that everybody's talking about. So here we are. Oh my God. Let's talk about Paul. Let's talk about Paul. Did he distort the message of Jesus? Did he falsely represent? Is he a false prophet altogether? Was Christianity born and maintained on falsehood completely? Or was there anything true? Is there coherence and congruence between the messages of Paul and Jesus Christ? I'm telling you right now there is. And I'm telling you right now, you guys don't even know what it is. The problem is, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the problem is most of us, I'm just going to say us, because I'm not going to say you, but most of us don't have a clue what it means to be a Christian because we learned how to be Christians thousands of years later. Christianity was born out of mystical union with God. If you don't know that, you don't know nothing. Every single human being is going to have a technically different theology than the other. And that's going to happen because every single person is experiencing God subjectively. And no matter if you have a brother and a sister or a brother and a brother raised in the same environment, with the same family, with the same experiences, they're going to end up having different memories, different perceptions of it. And that essentially is what theology is. If you don't know that, you don't know anything because you haven't known. It's not your fault. But the reality is there's only a few people in the Orthodox Christian tradition that have ever been called theologians. We think theologians are people that go to school for Bible. We think that's a theologian. That's not a theologian. That's a scholar who's learning texts academically. A theologian is somebody who is experiencing God, and their experience of God is so clear, and when I say God, what I mean is reality. Their experience is so clear, and it's so real, and it's so tangible that we want what they have. And so we pursue their theology, meaning their understanding and study and experience of God. There's only a couple of people called theologians in the Orthodox tradition for 2,000 years of Christianity. I think it's 3 people have been called theologians in the Orthodox tradition. The only reason why I mention Orthodox is because at least they have the saints, the lives of the saints, meaning that they have an example continuing to be set before them that they're following after. Shout out to Timmy Gibson, my youth pastor. Hey, bro, check it out. Of course you're an atheist, bro. I could have told you that when I was 17. You were an atheist back then. Every pastor I've ever met is an atheist. Most of the people I've ever seen in church are atheists. Why do I say that? Because bro, I'm going to tell you straight up. If I'm looking at you and your life is more important than God, then you're an atheist. God is the only thing that exists. And if you are more important to you than God, if your reality, your experience, your understanding, your whatever is more real, more important, more prioritized than what God is knowing and doing, then you're an atheist. Sorry. If you don't believe in God more than you believe in yourself or this world or its knowledges and if you want to complain that God should have made it better, he should have made it easier. If God was real, then why didn't he do this? And if God was real, why didn't he do that? Bro, I am about to blow my fucking brains out with all of you assholes, for real. Here's a prophet that doesn't care what you think about him. I didn't choose to be a prophet. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't even want that. The only reason why I identify right now as a prophet is because of what's going on. Prophets, apostles, messengers of God, let me tell you a secret. They're not special. They're normal. They're just people that haven't forgotten. That's all. And with all of the onslaught against me at this point, I still haven't totally forgotten him. I still love him. No matter what you atheists have to produce as far as terms or conditions for whether or not a God is real or not. Look, something that hit me a few years back was really, really important, and it was this. God is, and that's just a fact. Whether God's good, whether God's love, whether God's nice, whether God's kind, whether God's any of the things you expect God to be, it doesn't matter, bro. You exist in a life you couldn't have done yourself. You're living in a reality you can't control, and there's something that is in control of it, and it's not you. So if you don't want to call that God, I don't care. Call it the universe, call it whatever. There's a power greater than your little ego that has more to say about how things go than your little ego does. It is organizing the universe. It is bringing things into order. It is causing things to be what they are, manifesting as we speak, allowing me to talk about it like it's not the only thing that is. I'm using a phone and my body. I don't even understand, to be honest with you. I don't like any of it either. I don't like the fact that I go months without experiencing God and then have several months where I experience things I can't even explain for years, whatever, and then back to normal life. I got to do everything, carry water, chop wood, all that stuff's just normal, right? It's just normal life, married, bills, all that kind of stuff. It's just normal. But I'm telling you, it's all for a purpose. All that we're doing here as humans is all for a purpose, and it's headed somewhere. Most of you guys don't know that, so you'll just be stuck here for a minute. I don't even know if I'll get out of here, but we'll see. Anyways, the kingdom of heaven has facial recognition, and only the Son of God is allowed in. So you better have the character of Christ if you actually want to experience heaven. And the character of Christ, I'll tell you a secret, it's formless. It wants nothing, desires nothing, demands nothing, requires nothing, and it's totally content as it is, perfectly. Period. It loves, it loves, it loves. And that's all there is to it. Until we're there, we'll be here. God bless you, and I love you. Bye.